Before we begin, let me ask you something. What would you do if one morning you woke up, checked your bank account, and discovered that every dollar you saved in your entire life was gone? Not stolen by a stranger. Not taken by hackers. But taken by your own son. Would you confront him immediately? Would you call the police? Or would you stay silent and plan something he would never see coming? Because that's exactly what happened to me. My name is Peter. I am 70 years old. And the day my son emptied my savings account for a luxury vacation was the day I quietly changed something that would later destroy the life he thought he deserved. What happened next is something my son never imagined. And by the end of this story, you'll understand why sometimes the quietest revenge is the most powerful one.
Welcome to my YouTube channel Moral Ecos, where silence speaks.
My name is Peter. I am 70 years old. And the day my son emptied my savings account was the day he unknowingly changed the future of our entire family. A life built on sacrifice. I wasn't born rich. Far from it. I grew up in a small town where money was always tight and dreams often felt too big for people like us. My father worked in a factory and my mother cleaned houses. They taught me one simple lesson. Work hard, stay honest, and take care of your family. And that's exactly what I tried to do my entire life. I worked as a mechanic for nearly 45 years. Long hours, greasy hands, cold mornings in winter when the garage doors stayed open and the wind cut through your bones. But I never complained. Because every evening when I went home, my son Daniel would run to the door shouting, "Dad's home." Those moments made every hardship worth it. My son was my whole world. When Daniel was born, I held him in my arms and made a promise to myself. My son will have a better life than I did. And I kept that promise. I worked overtime. I skipped vacations. I drove the same old truck for 20 years so I could save money for his education. When he wanted a bicycle, I bought it. When he wanted to study business in college, I paid the tuition. When he failed a class and felt ashamed, I told him, "Son, mistakes happen. What matters is getting back up." I believed in him. More than anyone's. The first signs. Looking back now, maybe the warning signs were always there. Daniel liked nice things. Expensive things. Designer clothes, fancy restaurants, new gadgets. At first, I didn't mind. I thought he's young, let him enjoy life. But after he got married to a woman named Lisa, things started changing. Lisa loved luxury. She talked about vacations in Europe, expensive furniture, and big houses. Sometimes she would look at my modest home and say things like, "You deserve better, Daniel, you should live a bigger life." I didn't think much about it then. But I should have. My retirement savings. By the time I turned 69, I had saved $320,000. That money was my entire life's savings. It wasn't meant for luxury. It was meant for peace. A quiet retirement, medical bills, maybe a small fishing trip once a year. Daniel knew about the account because I trusted him. He even helped me with online banking sometimes, since I wasn't very good with computers. Trust. Sometimes trust is the most expensive mistake a person can make. The day everything changed. It was a Tuesday morning. I remember because I had just made coffee and sat down at the kitchen table. The bank called. At first, I thought it was a routine verification. But the woman on the phone sounded concerned. "Mr. Peter, did you authorize a transfer of $300,000 yesterday evening?" My heart skipped. "No, I didn't." There was silence. Then she said something that made my hands start shaking. "The transfer was made from your online banking profile." I checked my account. The balance read $18,432. My life savings. Gone. The phone call. I called Daniel immediately. He answered casually. Hey, Dad. My voice trembled. Daniel, did you take money from my account? There was a pause. Then he sighed like it was no big deal. Yeah, Dad, I meant to tell you. I felt the world spinning around me. You what? It's just temporary, he said. Lisa and I wanted to take a vacation to Greece. We needed the money for the villa and flights. I'll pay it back eventually. Eventually. 45 years of savings, used for a vacation. The photo that broke me. A week later, I saw something on social media. Daniel and Lisa smiling on a beach. Champagne in their hands. The caption read, "Living our best life in Santorini." My money paid for that sunset. My savings paid for that smile. And in that moment, something inside me quietly broke. I did fight. Many people expected me to explode, to scream, to threaten lawsuits. But I didn't. Instead, I smiled. And I made one calm decision. I called my lawyer. Changing the will. My lawyer, Mr. Thompson, had known me for years. When I told him what happened, he stared at me in shock. Peter, are you sure about this? I nodded. Yes. Because sometimes, the best lesson in life isn't given through anger. It's given through consequences. The quiet plan. I didn't tell Daniel anything. Months passed. He never returned the money. He never even apologized. In fact, he began asking for more. Dad, can you help with our mortgage? Dad, we need money for a car. Each request only made my decision clearer. By my 70th birthday, my will had completely changed. And Daniel had no idea. The day karma arrived. 2 years later, everything came crashing down. Daniel and Lisa showed up at my door with worried faces. Their business had failed. Their credit cards were maxed out. Their luxury life had collapsed. And suddenly, they needed help. Again, Daniel looked at me and said the words I will never forget. Dad, you're the only one who can save us. I looked at my son, the boy I once carried on my shoulders, the man who emptied my life savings. And I calmly replied, Son, I already helped you. He looked confused. When? I took a deep breath. The day I changed my will. The moral of my story. Life teaches us many lessons. But the most painful one is this. Love your children, but never let them mistake your kindness for weakness. Because respect is more valuable than money. And sometimes, the greatest inheritance you can leave your children is the consequences of their choices.
If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because every story here leaves behind a lesson.